You are welcome back to Keys Music Official. This video is going to be dedicated to those of us who are not fortunate enough to have a very good tutor at the early stage. This is episode 3 of the piano learning series from scratch. I'm going to widen anything that you need to know when it comes to chords naming, chords formation, and how to resolve chords. Stay tuned to the end of the video. This is what I want you to do to support this channel. Like the video first of all. Comment anything that may come to your mind and subscribe if you are new and today is your first time here. You are welcome. Okay. All right. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to be using the major scale that we learned in the episode 2. So go watch that video and catch up with me soon. Let me be on the key of C. That's where it's so simple. The C major scale is just all the white notes from this C note to this C note. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the C major scale. Go watch that video and catch up with me. Wow, so what's the meaning of a chord? A chord is just combination of two or more notes, two or more different notes being struck or being played simultaneously. So the concept here is two or more. And the condition attached to it is they are different notes and they are also being played at the same time. With this C major scale that I have, if I take any of the notes in here, I can take this C note, take a different note like F, and take, for instance, this B note. These are 3 different notes. If I strike them, the condition here they have met because they are more than 2. If I strike them together at the same time, it's said to be a chord. So the question is, what if I play them individual, like the time varies? This is not a chord. This is what we call arpeggio. Okay, so arpeggio is just a broken chord playing the notes of a chord at different times. So this is not a chord, but if you strike them together, then you have a chord. So if I have this same C note, this C note, and this C note, if I strike them together, although they are 3 different notes, but they are not a chord. This is just like an octave. Okay, if I strike them together, although they are being strike at the same time and they are 2 or more notes, but it's not a chord, it's octave. I'll teach that later. Right, so if you take any of the major scale, I said that the major scale is being comprised of 7 different notes, and each of the notes we have to form a chord on it. Okay, each of the notes has 8 unique chords that will be formed on it. Now we are limited to the major scale for now. So this is the scale. If you take the first note, it is C. The second note is D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let me advise you here, if you are someone who is struggling to understand chords, then let me tell you something that I practiced to make me better today. In the previous video, that's the episode 1, I said that you have 3 different systems of naming that you may think of. We have the alphabetical system of naming, you have the solfeggio system, and we have the numeric system. The alphabetic system, that's using the characters of the alphabet to assign them to the piano keys. When it comes to the numerics, that's using numbers to assign to the piano notes. And when it comes to the solfeggio, it's just like using solfege, do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do to symbolize for the piano keys. Okay. But if you want to understand chords to the deeper level at this modern world, you need to make yourself abreast of the numeric system and the alphabetic system. Most of our teachers taught us this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But when you go online learning piano tutorials, a few piano tutors use this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And in the video, I said that the solfeggio system is being prioritized by those solo instruments, those guys who play solo instruments. Those are the people who make use of the do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, wow. So if I have this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, this major scale, instead for me to be using this do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do, either I call it with the alphabetic name C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or I can call it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So practice these 2 systems, this alphabetic and numeric. Just combine them together. I'm going to show you the reason why I'm saying that. If you take this major scale, there are 7 different notes Okay, 7 different degrees. The first note, second note, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they are the same as C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay. Okay, now there's a principle here that I practice a lot and it helped me. Before you can come up with diatonic chords, these are just the chords being played or being obtained from a very scale. So if I form a chord from so and so scale, for instance, a minor scale, if I derive a chord from that scale, that chord is said to be a diatonic chord. For instance, if you have these few notes here, I'm just taking some few notes as a scale. If I have these 4 notes as a scale, that's just an example. If I'm to form a chord from it, I can say I take the D note, I take the F note, and I take the G note. So I'll form a chord from this 4 scale that I have. Okay, this 4 note scale that I have. This chord that I form, you can see all the notes here can be found in the scale. So that chord is said to be a diatonic chord, a chord that has 8 notes revolving around the scale. Okay, wow. So if you are limited to major scale for now, then our chords that we are going to form must be also be restricted or be in the boundary with the major scale. Okay, so the first note of the scale, we need to form a chord on it. Second note, a chord. Third note, a chord. But the question is, what kind of chords should we be forming on these individual notes? Just take your pen and paper and write these stuff that I'm going to say here. Just pen them down. Every major scale that you take, whether key C sharp, whatever note that you want to play the major scale, the first note always, we do form a major chord on it. So the first note, you have to compulsory by force form a major chord on it. The second note, that's the D. I'm on the key of C, that's why I'm using C D. The second note of the major scale, we always form a minor chord on it. The third note of the major scale, you always form a minor chord on it. The fourth note of the major scale, you have to form a major chord. The fifth note, you always have to form a major chord. Sixth note, you have to form a minor. Seventh, diminished chord. So I have to form major chord on the first, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So in summary, we have the first note, that's 1, 4, and 5. Automatically by force, we have to form major chords on them when we are playing. Okay, and when it comes to the re, that's the second, the third, and the C, 3, 2, 3, 6, we have to form minor chords on them compulsory by force. The last note, that's the 7th note, you have to form a diminished chord on it compulsory by force. So 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor, 7 being diminished chord. The question here is, how do we form major chord? How do we form minor and diminish? I'm going to give you a simple formula to use. When it comes to major, just write it down. To form a major chord on every key, take your root note plus 4 semitones plus 3 semitones. You know, major chords are just 3-note chord. So we just need only 3 notes as a major chord. And the first note of the chord, we need the root note. So if I'm forming a major chord on, for instance, this F sharp note, this F sharp note is automatically set to be our root note. And the second note of the chord, the rule says that count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 semitones away from your root note to get your second note of the chord. And the last note that made up the major chord, you have to count 1, 2, 3 notes away from your second note. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 semitones away from your second note to get your third note of the chord. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's the formula we use to find a major chord. So it works for all the 12 keys. If I take this E note, and I want to form a major chord on it, the E note itself becomes the first note of the chord. Then the rule says count 4 semitones away from your root note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then additional 1, 2, 3 semitones away from your second note. So this is your E major chord. If you have the formula and you know that root major chord is equal to root notes plus 4 semitones plus 3 semitones, whatever you form, whenever you just take a root note and form that chord on it, if I take this B note and form that major chord, I apply the major chord formula on it to have something like this. This application of the major chord formula. If I want to name this chord that I've just played, it's just adding the name of the root note plus the chord type that you just formed based on the formula that you use, adding the root note to it. Then you have the chord name. So this is B, and I have formed a major chord on it. So it's going to be B major chord. It's just the addition of the B note, that's the root note, plus the chord type. That's how we get chord's name. The second chord I mentioned is minor chord. And minor chord is just like the vice versa of major chord, the vice versa. So the formula is going to be root note plus 3 semitones plus 4 semitones. Just invert your major chord to get your minor chord. So the same, if I have this C note, the formula, I'm forming minor chord on it. So the formula says root note, that's the first note of the chord. The second note is 3 semitones away from your root note. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have a minor chord on this C root note. So if I'm naming this chord, it's just C plus the chord type. So this is C minor chord because we form the minor chord structure over this C note. So that's how we name minor chords, or we form minor chords. The last chord on the list is diminished chords. Diminished chords is that simple. The formula is root note plus 3 semitones. So it's just a chord with 3 intervals. So this same C note, if I'm forming the diminished chord on it, the root note itself becomes part of the chord. It's left with only 2 notes. So just 1, 2, 3 semitones plus 1, 2, 3 semitones. This is a diminished chord type, and it's being formed over this C note. So we're going to call it C diminished chord. You understand? C diminished chord. So if I apply this same formula over this A note, root note 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I have a diminished chord type here over this A note. So we're going to call this chord a diminished chord. That's how these chords that you've been hearing, that's how we come out with them. And when it's time for you to write them on paper, for instance, this C major chord that you see here, if you want to write them, most at times they do abbreviate the major. Instead of writing this whole major, they abbreviate it with a capital letter, okay? So you just write your C plus M. So the M, you're going to write it with a capital letter. So CM means C major, okay? C major chord. And when it comes to minor, we symbolize that with small letter M. So C small m means C minor chord. When it comes to diminish, we symbolize that with DIM, dim, DIM. So if you see C DIM, it means C diminished. So that applies to all the chords, all the 12 keys, okay? That's how we came out with the chord types. All right, now taking the C major scale, we have 7 different notes. I've said that the first note, you have to form a minor chord, the major chord on it. So just take your first note of the scale, here is it, and form a major chord on it. So we have C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I form a major chord on this C note. So I have C major chord for my first degree of the scale. The second degree, we have to form a minor chord on it. So that's a D note. Form a minor chord 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have formed a minor chord type over this D note. So we have D minor chord. The third degree of the scale, we have to form a minor chord on it as well. So this is the third degree, that's E. If you are to form a minor, it says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this chord is being called E minor chord. The fourth degree, we do form major chord on it. So this F note, forming major chord on it, is just taking the F itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You understand? When it comes to the fifth degree, the law says that form a major chord on it. So just take it like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The sixth degree, we have to form a minor chord on it. That's A. So take the A note, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. The seventh degree of the note of the scale, you have to form a diminished chord on it. That's going to be the B itself plus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be B diminished chord, that because we form a diminished chord type over this B note. We have our first chord to be C major chord, D minor chord, E minor chord, F major chord, G major chord, A minor chord, then B diminished chord. From this time around, just take the notes. Know that if I take my first degree, I have so and so chord on it. If I take my sixth degree, I have so and so chord on it. If you practice that over a period of time, you just get yourself well abreast with this minor, diminished, major chord thing that you've been hearing every day. This thing that you just learned on C, it applies to all the 12 keys. If you have your F major scale, the same thing applies to raise. The first note, you have to form a major chord on it. The second note, form minor. Third note, minor, major, major, minor, diminish. So that's how we came up with diatonic chords over the major scale. So this is basically diatonic chords. We don't call these chords major chords, okay? Don't do that mistake. Most of us were ignorant of this, and we call these chords that we form on the major scale, we call them major chords. It's not like that. We call them diatonic chords. So I'll leave you to practice them. Just practice them. The next video, I'll explain more about inversions. If you want me to continue, just comment it down so I can have that passion to continue, okay? So thanks for your time. God bless you.